Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jacqueline and in today's video I'm bringing you the review, swatches and this eye look using one of the most successful beauty launches in 2019, and I'm talking about the Conspiracy palette, the collaboration between Jeffree Star and Dawson. And I'm going to give you my perspective as a luxury makeup lover as well as a person who have mature skin. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you will consider to subscribe to my channel and ring the post notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. Also, come and check my Instagram. And now, if you want to know more about the Conspiracy palette, then just keep on watching. Yes, today we're going to be playing with Jeffree Star and Dawson's Conspiracy palette. I got this palette right here at Beautylish. It cost $52, but I got it with the mini controversy palette, so these two right here, and they were set as a bundle, so it cost me $72. This palette, the mini conspiracy palette alone, cost $28, so the bundle was a good deal, I should say, because I mean this is 52, this is 28, we did the math, right? So I was able to save $8, I mean, give or take. You know, it was a savings, and I have to say, you know, round of applause for Beautylish. They have an amazing, not only customer service, it's just incredible, the customer service, the way that you receive your package, the timely manner that they ship the items, their website. It was, although they had a little bit of problems at the very beginning, to me the transaction went fairly fast and fairly good. I was actually driving at the time that this palette was going to release. I had an appointment and I needed to be on the road, so I had my daughter right next to me and she helped me out. I had the Beautylish website ready. They had Jeffree Star and Dawson, and he said, you know, coming soon, so I told her just refresh, and as soon as it came out, she was able to put this right here inside the cart. She didn't know that I didn't want the mini controversy, I only wanted the conspiracy palette, but she put it in and she said, is this okay, mom? And I'm like, whatever. As soon as I said whatever, she's like, oh, the website collapsed, mom, I cannot do it. And I just said, just keep refreshing, and if we're able to get it, good, and if not, good too. Let's just don't stress about it. But literally I was able to get through my order within the first 2 minutes of the launch, so I didn't have to wait a really long amount of time. I placed my order on Friday and it arrived on, I think, yeah, it was actually Monday late evening that it arrived, when, you know, the carrier came by. But so it was a fast shipment, so that means that Beautylish went full force at getting these items out in time and just have the best customer service ever. I know Jeffree Star's website collapsed, Morphe collapsed too. I mean, it was such a big deal. Now, the way that you receive this package, if you order from Beautylish, and any purchase that you do through Beautylish, very nicely wrapped. I receive it like this, obviously inside a box. This is the paper, and this is a special paper for Jeffree Star's actual brand. So I have tried Jeffree Star's eyeshadow formula and lipsticks, and I should say that I'm very impressed with his branding, the formulation. I think it is good quality products. I mean, it's not gimmicky, it's not cheapy stuff, it's good stuff. Okay, now I know there's a lot of controversy with Jeffree Star, so I want to apologize to those subscribers that you know, they just do not buy from Jeffree Star, and they may not like this specific video. There's a lot of other videos that you can watch, and I'm honestly here just for the makeup. So if there's a makeup right here that I like, that I feel like, okay, this is a nice palette, or a nice makeup product, I will review it. Regardless of the person, this doesn't mean that I agree with whoever it is, the CEO of the brand. It's nothing about that. And I'm not a person either that agrees with this cancellation type of culture. I don't like that either. So I'm just here, you know, I'm a mature person. I just, you know, go ahead and will review what I like. For example, today I'm sure I'm not going to use the mini controversy. I will open it for you and you're going to be able to see it, but I will just go ahead and review the conspiracy, because this is the palette that it actually attracted me, that I thought, okay, this is a nice palette. Now going back to the conspiracy palette, I actually do not watch Shane Dawson, and I don't have anything against Shane Dawson. It's just I don't have much time. I mean, whatever time that I had, because I was interested in beauty type of content, I'm subscribed to people that they actually review beauty products or give tutorials, or professional makeup artists where I can gain a little bit more knowledge on application of makeup products. And that's the people that I watch. But for example, my daughter, she watched Shane Dawson, and she kind of like give me a little bit of like who he is and what he does and why he's so big in YouTube and so trending. I mean, from what I hear from her and a little bit of what I have heard from the social media aspect, because I didn't watch the series with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star for this palette, which by the way, I think it was the best marketing way to go about this palette. It's just the biggest speech in history of beauty products. I mean, for a great success of a great launch, seamlessly, they did great right there. And now let's go to the conspiracy, what you came here for. So it comes in this package right here. As you can tell, it's this swirl, kind of like, you know, get hypnotized by the conspiracy type of thing, which I think is pretty clever, you know, knowing that Shane Dawson, I think that's his main thing is his channel, you know, going through conspiracy theories and all of that. And then at opening this box right here, the palette is really beautiful. I mean, it's kind of like a trunk case, and this is very on brand with Jeffree Star. This is the way that he does his big packages. Not all of them though, but blue blood sugar, they were done this way, and this is really nice. I mean, it's beautiful. I love the contrast on the design, that you have this matte black and then the glossy black, then on white the conspiracy, then this is, yeah, this is okay. So this right here is Shane Dawson's logo. So I guess this logo right here is kind of like Illuminati type of inspire. Comes with these two clasps. The palette is very sturdy. Now obviously if you want to use this palette, comes with a mirror, which I love to use a mirror in the palette. I mean, it doesn't feel too heavy, but it may be not, you know, like the easiest to be carrying it and doing your makeup like this, which I like to do, but it is okay. Now when you open it, you will see the palette, and now on the palette you have on each side you have the logos from Jeffree and Shane Dawson, and then here are the shades. So 18 different shades, that's what we're getting. And what it really attracted me about this palette, and why I give it a second thought when I was like, I don't know if to get it or not. I mean, I wasn't sure, right? I was like, I'm confused. Should I get it or should I don't get it? What I really like about this palette, it is that in the process of Shane Dawson collaborating to do this palette, Jeffree, I'm sure he gave him a very, you know, like in-depth kind of like education in the beauty industry and the formulation about these eyeshadows and how to create a color story and whatnot. But from each of feedback, what I like about it is like they carry on the essence of Jeffree Star. He likes to play and have bright colors on his palettes, but also they thought about the common, you know, the common consumer, the consumer that likes neutral colors. And let's be honest, we see on Instagram and social media, people like, oh, I'm tired of neutrals, oh, I'm tired of the same colors, earthy tones and whatnot. and we want to see colors. But then when we see colors, we also see the other aspect that there's a lot of people saying, oh, this is too colorful, oh, this is too much rainbow colors, and where to find that middle part. And I think they find out that middle point on this palette, because definitely you have a row right here of all neutral colors that you can use for everyday look. Then you find your more colorful colors. Not even this one. I mean, this one right here is very toned down, very muted. And then right here you have cooler tone shadows that can take you for a nighttime kind of look, a more smoky eye look. I really love that they included, this is not a super white shade, but it's whitish, and then you get a black one right here. So they went with something that in creating color stories, it's very well needed sometimes in a palette. If you want your clients to use your palette, you know, as much as possible and get really, you know, hook on your brand. So that's my thought. And even, I mean, even this orange shade right here called Cheese Dust is not a vibrant orange. It's not like a neon orange. I mean, the only shadows that are very punchy, this is the punchiest of all, and then these right here and the red one. But other than that, this palette, it is what I think very wearable. Okay, so now that I gave you a little bit about my thoughts about these palettes, I'm gonna bring you closer and we're gonna go over swatches really quick, and then I'm gonna enter into the eye look, and then at the end we're gonna go over I think that is worth your time, your money, etc. I just want to show you the details and emboss on each of the eyeshadow pans. I got you nice and close, and we're going to start with swatches. We go Ranch, My Peels. Then we have Tanacon, Diet Root Beer, Just a Theory, Sparkling, Conspiracy, Pigment, Food Videos, Trisha, Cheese Dust, Flaming Hot, What's the Tea, Diet Cola, Not a Fact, Sleep Paralysis, Illuminati, My Ride is Here. The shadows that you will definitely find some staining from are going to be Not a Fact, Flaming Hot, Cheese Dust, and Trisha. Maybe Pigment too, because when I was cleaning my arm, basically the pink shades, they do have such a strong pigment that I find a little bit of a staining. And just to quickly note, this eyeshadow palette is cruelty free. It has a shelf life of 12 months and is made here in the United States. As far as the weight goes for these eyeshadows, they weigh 1.5 grams or 0.05 ounces per eyeshadow pan. And these are not all eyeshadows. There are also some pressed pigments. That's why you see some staining. And yeah, that's true. It says here Cheese Dust. It's a Cheese Dust, Food Videos too, My Peels, Trisha, Not a Fact, Flaming Hot, Pigment, and what else? I missed something. Oh, Sleep Paralysis. Yep. Those are not intended for use in the immediate eye area, so you just have to be careful on those items. I don't see any actual glitter particles in here. Even the matte shades, they do have a subtle sheen to them that is very beautiful, but I assume those are, it's just because they are pressed pigment, they will stain your eyes, and if you have delicate eye area, you want to be careful with that. Okay, my friends, now let's get you even closer so we can start with the eye look. And I don't know, I'm kind of like thinking to do something with green, just to match my green shirt right here. I think so. Okay, let's get you closer. Okay, so if you're new here to my channel, welcome. I just want to let you know that when I do my reviews on any eyeshadow palette, I do not use eyeshadow primer. I just want the palette and the shadows to shine for themselves. So I just basically use a concealer, the same concealer that I use on my under eyes, and then some translucent setting powder, and then just go straight ahead with the eyeshadows. Okay, first shade that I'm going to be using is the shade Tanacon, and I'm applying the shade Tanacon pretty much all over my eyelid. Illuminati with a BK Beauty 203. I'm just gonna take it on my outer V. This is a satin shade, so it's nice and creamy. Sonia G Builder Pro and Conspiracy. I'm applying it dry. Sonia G Worker Pro and Diet Root Beer. I'm placing this color in between Conspiracy and Illuminati, just to create a little bit of a transition between those two. Now I'm gonna go back again to Conspiracy, and I'm just gonna tap in a little bit more on the inner third of my eyelid. And I'm gonna do the same thing on my outer V with the shade Illuminati. I'm just gonna blend them in. Lower lash line, I'm gonna go with the shade Tanacon. And I'm just gonna blow it out a little. Illuminati BK Beauty 203. I'm taking it a little bit on the outer portion of my lower lash line. Go with Not a Fact for my lower lash line. And I'm just gonna apply it very close to that lash line. A Morphe E27 brush. I'm gonna use again Tanacon. I'm just gonna blow it out a little bit, the edges. Morphe E36, and I'm gonna mix a little bit of Ranch and Just a Theory to use it as my inner corner highlight, as well as my brow bone. Okay friends, I'm gonna finish my eye look off camera and be right back with you. And here it is, the final look. Okay, now that I'm done with my eye look, I said I got the mini Conspiracy and I never showed it to you. So packaging outside, it is, I don't know, it has some kind of texture, it's black and it has this kind of like silver, it looks like glitter but there's no glitter at all, so it's really cool packaging, and again it has really nice texture to it. It is 12 months for shelf life. It's also cruelty free. It is made here in the United States, and on the back it says Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. They have each their logos. What else? Okay, it has also an attention on two shades, it seems like, Controversy and My Apology, that are not intended to be used on the immediate eye area. And then when you take it out, the packaging, I mean, I know what they were going for, but I don't like it that much. I don't know, it doesn't just look so appealing, and it's a cardboard type of packaging. It has a nice size mirror. Again, the mirror on both sides have Jeffree's logo and Shane Dawson's logo, and then the colors right here. But anyhow, going to the Conspiracy palette, I really like that eyeshadow look that I was able to achieve. It's nice, it's green, it is not too much. So overall, I think that the palette, it is actually user friendly. I mean, again, I'm reviewing here not the person behind it, not the personality of other people or anything like that. I'm just reviewing here the palette itself. I like the color story because, again, it gives us those neutral colors, it gives us a little bit of other colors that we can achieve smoky eye looks, and then it gives us a few punch of colors that are not too much. I mean, like, it just gives us enough variation. Maybe the shade Food Videos, it's a little bit of like, for what? But my daughter explained me that I think Food Videos, the background or the beginning of the videos started with that color. So I guess I understand why it's here. I mean, is related with Shane Dawson's channel, so I totally get it. I love this shade here. This is Cheese Dust and Flaming Hot. I love hot flaming Cheetos. I love them. They are just like so good, and I like the ones that they have the lime I try to do not eat any of that stuff, but whenever we go to a trip with the kids or going to Disneyland or you know, any of like theme parks or something like that, I always make an excuse to buy those Cheetos. They are just the ones that I love the most. But going back to the palette, I mean, you can even get like a beautiful smoky eye look using the black, the shade Sleep Paralysis and Diet Cola, and then a little bit of orange. You can just create an amazing look. I love this cool tone nude color, like a skin color called My Peels. Spot on. And then like really good if you want to create that, you know, a very intense smoky eye look. I mean, like, I think this is a palette that I will put it in use because I see that they gear this palette, the color story, to have the personality of both Shane Dawson and of Jeffree Star, yet giving something for different type of audience, because the audience that follows Shane Dawson doesn't necessarily have to do with the audience, the people that they watch beauty type of content. Therefore, I think this is very much user friendly. Now, if you, this formula right here, I'm familiar with. It is a great formula. The matte shades, they blend super well. I mean, I have to give it that. Jeffree Star has achieved a really good formulation for his matte shades. Also, his shimmer shades, they don't need to be applied wet. If you want a big, you know, like impact and be more foil, you can use them wet, but for the most part, these eyeshadows, they give you a lot. I mean, like a lot of pigmentation, but blendability at the same time. Now, very important, you will get fallout. So as soon as you put your brush, if your brush is a stiff brush, you will get kickback right away. If you use something like, also that I bought them at Beautylish, something like Sonia G brushes. These are really good brushes. Wengo's brushes too. They are made with natural hair, and then tap off the excess. And even tapping them off, I find out some fallout with Illuminati and a little bit of fallout too with Tanacon, very minimal, and then some fallout with Not a Fact. The fallout is not a lot. It's not like, sometimes I see some people that they are doing tutorials and I see a bunch of fallout using other shadows. No, it's not a lot. I mean, you have seen here, I know this is an edited video what you're watching, but what you see under my eyes of fallout, that's all what it was. So it's up to you whether you want to use a shield under your eyes or do your foundation and face, you know, makeup after you do your shadows. Other than that, I mean, the fallout is not like over the top. And then as far as the matte shades, they are very interesting mattes because they are nice, creamy, they have a lot of pigmentation, but they are not flat. They don't have shimmer in it, but they have a subtle sheen to them that they just create this dimension when you turn. So they are beautiful mattes, and I really enjoy Jeffree Star's formula. I mean, regardless of whatever you know, controversy there is behind him, I have to give it that he puts quality product out there. He does. And I'm happy that I got this palette. This is a good palette. This is a palette that I will use. And I think overall the price too, although it's 50, I mean it's 18 shadows, hefty price, but you also get a good amount of product inside. I mean, you get more product on this palette right here than what you will get. For example, I keep bringing usually Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes because the regular ones, not the Norvina ones, because they do have very little amount of product. And I mean, for a person that doesn't use a lot of makeup or just have very limited amount of makeup, you know, this is all good. I know right now the whole YouTube is filled with videos about this palette right here, but again, I wanted to bring you a review from a point of view of a person that have more mature skin. That if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for the opportunity and stopping by right here. But if you see my channel, I do love luxury makeup. I do love my Tom Ford. I do love my Natasha Denona, Grath. I just love it so much. So sometimes going in another route to do a review, it has to really intrigue me, the palette, in order for me to actually go and get it, go and grab it. And these did that to me. And another thing that I wanted to mention is, for example, for me that I have, my skin, it's mature skin. I'm already on my late 30s. My eyelids has a lot of folds. I don't feel that tagging or pulling on my skin. Sometimes eyeshadows, they can be really dry and they make it even harder to blend on mature skin. That's why we see, for example, Charlotte Tilbury and even Tom Ford having these formulas that they are more of like celestial type of formulas. They are easier on eyes that they don't even need to be mature, but if you have hooded eyes, they just have a very nice glistening and it's very easy to blend, and that's why you pay pretty much that major price tag for those items. And I find out that it's very consistent with Jeffree Star eyeshadows, that the blendability of these eyeshadows is also very workable. And you can see, for example, on this Conspiracy palette, the matte shadows, that's what I was saying, that they are not flat mattes. They do have certain type of satin within them or glistening without any glitter that makes them very creamy and very easy to blend with and keeping the same pigmentation. So right now, I think you all know this palette, it is completely sold out of stock. I'm pretty sure they are going to bring it back. I mean, this is a huge money maker right here. I would love to see from Jeffree Star and Dawson to do another series where, we can see the behind the scenes of the success of this palette, how they went into the production. But also, I know that Jeffree Star, he does donations to different charities. And I would love to see that part, that aspect, because I know this was a huge success. I know I'm a business person. I know there's a lot of things that needs to be paid behind the scenes for making this palette, the people behind. There's so many, pieces to this structure of the business. But I don't know, I just want to see that human part from them. Anytime that I see something succeeding so much, I'm always thinking behind the scenes, what else can they do to actually do good for others and other humans aside to the business marketing aspect of it. That's my take on that. Okay, my friends, I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did so, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with somebody else that may like this type of videos. And if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you will consider to subscribe to my channel. It's very easy to look under this screen. In red, you will find that it says subscribe. Just tap in there. Also, it's very important if you don't want to miss any content, because right here, I will bring you reviews, hauls, first impressions, you name it, there's a lot of things, even unboxings. Do not forget to ring the post notification bell. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.